Yes, good morning to all. Today we are discussing the remaining part of the chapter. We already discussed the two types of bacteria based on the staining property. Gram positive and gram negative bacteria, which is always violet in color, are called as gram positive, and which lose the color of gram crystal violet is called as gram negative bacteria. Then we are discussing the first group of first kingdom called as kingdom Monera. This is called as kingdom Monera. This includes bacteria, and this kingdom Monera is subdivided into three groups. See, divided into three subgroups. First of all, first group is called Archaebacteria. Second group is called Cyanobacteria, and third group is called true bacteria or eubacteria. See, true bacteria or eubacteria. So kingdom Monera is subdivided into three groups. All are bacteria. Archaebacteria, Cyanobacteria and eubacteria or true bacteria, and all are bacteria, and then we can see the characters of one by one. Archaebacteria, Cyanobacteria and true bacteria. First group is called Archaebacteria. We have discussed Archaebacteria, then we can discuss Cyanobacteria, then we can discuss the eubacteria. First group called Archaebacteria. So the first group called Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria. These Archaebacteria are the oldest type of bacteria in the living world. They are old type of bacteria and they are the first living organisms of the world. See, they are the first living organisms of the world because life originated crores of years ago. At that time, the temperature of atmosphere was very high. So other plants and animals are not there. So they are the first living organisms originated in the universe. And the old type of bacteria. Bacteria are very old, and these Archaebacteria are old type of bacteria originated in the living world. And they are the first living organisms. First living organisms of the world. They are the first living organisms originated. And third point is that they have thick cell wall. They have thick cell wall. All bacteria have thick cell wall to protect the cell from unfavorable conditions. You know that the cell wall is very thick. Why the cell wall is very strong? Because the temperature was around 100 degrees Celsius. So bacteria cannot live. The DNA, the important structure of the cell is DNA. The DNA or other proteins may be destroyed. So the cell is covered by, you know that the cell wall is very thick. The cell wall, covering of cell is called cell wall. It is very thick cell wall because inside there is a DNA or gene. So to protect the DNA or gene, cell wall is very thick. And then the bacteria, this Archaebacteria are again divided into three groups. Archaebacteria are divided into three groups based on the some of the characters. There are three types. First of all, so you remember that there are all type of bacteria. There are first living organisms of the world. The cell wall is very thick to protect cell from unfavorable condition. See, Archaebacteria were again divided into three groups. Archaebacteria were again divided into three groups. First one, methanogens. Halophiles and thermoacidophiles. Thermoacidophiles. So bacteria, archaebacteria, again divided into three groups. So what are archaebacteria? They are the old type of living organisms originated in the living world. They are the first type of living organism. And they are classified into three groups. First one, methanogen, halophiles and thermoazulophiles. All are archaebacteria, old type of bacteria. So methanogens, halophiles and thermoazulophiles. First of all, what is the meaning of methanogen? Important points you have to take down. Methanogen, methano, we can divide into methanogen. Gen means producing. So what is methanogen? Methane producing archaebacteria are called methanogen. You might have heard about methane, a gas called methane. They are mainly present in biogas. Biogas is used for cooking purpose. So that biogas contains methane. A foul smell of the biogas is due to the methane. You see, you felt that the biogas having a bad smell. That bad smell is due to the presence of methane. So bacteria, archaebacteria, which are producing methane is called methanogen. Methanogen. Methane producing archaebacteria are called methanogens. Where they are present, they are anaerobic. They are anaerobic. They are anaerobic. What is the meaning of anaerobic? They are living in the absence of oxygen. They are called anaerobic bacteria. And they are usually present in marshy area. They are present in marshy area. What is the meaning of marshy area? Muddy area. On the banks of the river, there is muddy area, waterlogged area. That muddy area is called a marshy area. When we are traveling to the river or riverside, or we are traveling from Kasaragod to Mangalore, on either side of the road there is marshy area, muddy area. And if we are traveling to that muddy area, we get a foul smell, bad smell. That bad smell is due to the methane. So in that muddy area, muddy soil is called what? Marshy soil. On the side of the river, we can see muddy soil. That muddy soil is anaerobic. What is the meaning of anaerobic? What do you mean by anaerobic? There is no oxygen. No oxygen, that is called anaerobic. There is no oxygen. In that muddy area, oxygen is less in the soil. Soil does not contain oxygen. That bacteria, these methanogens are living in the marshy soil, muddy soil, which does not contain oxygen. See, all living organisms require oxygen, but these methanogens does not require oxygen. Why they does not require oxygen? Because these methanogens are lived thousands of crores of years ago. At that time, in the atmosphere, there is no oxygen. So you remember that methanogens are bacteria living in the marshy area now. Now they are present in the marshy area because now the atmosphere contains enough oxygen. So in the presence of oxygen, these methanogens cannot live. So methanogens are living in the absence of oxygen at that time. Now also they are living in the absence of oxygen or anaerobic condition. Now they are present in the marshy areas only, where soil is anaerobic. And that marshy area does not contain oxygen. So they are living in marshy area, and the foul bad smell is due to the presence of this bacteria because they produce methane. They are present in biogas tank, biogas fermenters. See, they are present in biogas fermenters, biogas tank. You know biogas tank. That tank is anaerobic. It is completely closed tank. You have seen that the cooking gas, we are using the biogas for cooking purpose or lighting purpose. That biogas tank is there. That tank is anaerobic. Inside the biogas tank, there is no oxygen. Living organisms cannot live inside the tank because the tank is anaerobic. So these methanogens are living in the biogas tank. You remember that 40% of the biogas contain methane. We are used for cooking purpose. Biogas contain methane. This bacteria is living in the biogas tank, and produce methane. So we are getting bad foul smell. Another point is that they are living in the midgut of, or they are present in the digestive system of cow-like animals. That region is called Metherogens. They are present in the marshy area. They are present in the midgut of animal. They are present in the midgut of animals like cow. They are present in the midgut of chewing animals. See, cow-like animals are called as ruminant animals. Cow-like animals, they are chewing. The grass is taken out of that and then they are chewed inside that. So, inside the midgut of cow-like animals, the condition is anaerobic. There is no much oxygen. So, these Metherogens are present in which areas? They are present in marshy areas. They are present in biogas tank. They are present in the midgut of animals like cow. But there is no oxygen. Oxygen is comparatively less because inside the midgut anaerobic digestion takes place. Bacteria will do anaerobic digestion. So the Metherogens are, remember that Metherogens are methane producing bacteria are called Metherogens. It is very important. Biogas fermenter, then marshy areas. Then comes the next topic. Halophiles. They are living in halophiles. They are living in salt solution. Bacteria living in salt solution are called as halophiles. Salt solution. You know, we are using for cooking purpose. We are using sodium chloride salt and sodium chloride solution. Salt solution. You remember that living organism cannot live in the salt. Can you live any bacteria, any living organism can live in the salt? Salt cannot live, any living organism cannot live in the salt because there is a process of exosmosis will take place. So usually living organism cannot live in the salt. Salt is highly concentrated. So these bacteria are halophiles. Philes loving. Halophile. Salt loving bacteria. So bacteria, they are living in the, they are loving salt solutions are called halophiles. You remember that they are extreme conditions, bad conditions. See, third one, thermoacidophile, another group of archaebacteria. See, thermoacidophile. What is the meaning of that? Thermo, hot temperature, thermo, acido, acid loving. See, hot acid loving bacteria. See, hot acid bacteria living in hot acid are called thermoacidophile. We cannot imagine that because if you are taking sulfuric acid and putting an organism in sulfuric acid, what happens? Within seconds it will destroy. It cannot live. Any organism cannot live in acid. If you are boiling sulfuric acid and putting an organism in the acid, within seconds it will dissolve. Strong acid. There are some bacteria lived in the crores of years ago in hot acid loving bacteria. Because at that time, crores of years ago in the universe, there are certain regions where acids are collected. See, acids are collected somewhere, like pond-like structures are there at that time because atmosphere contains more hydrogen, not oxygen. So by anyhow, acid is collected somewhere. In that acid, some of the bacteria are living. Usually, living organism cannot live in any acid medium. They cannot live in acid. Very, very bad condition. So, bacteria are there. There are some bacteria living in hot acid medium. Such bacteria living in hot acid are called thermoacidophiles. You remember that? These are all extreme conditions. What is the meaning of extreme? Bad, unfavorable conditions. So, the bacteria which are old living organisms which are living in any unfavorable conditions are called as what? Archaebacteria. So remember that archaebacteria are old type of bacteria lived crores of years ago. At that time the condition of atmosphere was very, very bad, very unfavorable condition. There is no oxygen, there is no water, nothing is there. So bacteria are lived in that condition first living organisms of the world are called as archaebacteria. They are grouped into three classes: methanogen, halophiles and thermoacidophiles. Methane producing archaebacteria are called methanogens. Living in salt solution are called halophile. Hot acid medium bacteria are called thermoacidophiles. Of that, this is important. So, a question carrying 2 marks. Write notes on archaebacteria. This is a question carrying 2 marks. Write notes on archaebacteria. Biogas fermenter is more important. The bacteria present in biogas fermenters. So remember that these are about the group of organisms called as archaebacteria. Then comes the next group called as cyanobacteria. See, bacteria called as cyanobacteria are the archaebacteria are the first group. Then comes the cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria. They are otherwise called as blue-green algae. They are otherwise called as blue-green algae. Blue-green algae. Blue-green color. Blue-green algae. They are otherwise called as blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria is otherwise called blue-green algae. And they are the second group of organisms originated. See, archaebacteria are the first living organisms. After archaebacteria in the universe, in the earth, second group of organisms originated during the course of evolution. That second group of living organisms are called cyanobacteria. They are otherwise called blue-green alga. Remember, alga present in water, green color, but they are called blue-green alga. And you know that they are prokaryotic organism, no nucleus, no membrane bound organelles. They may be unicellular or multicellular. They may be unicellular or filamentous. See, filamentous or multicellular. What is the meaning of unicellular? With a single cell in the body, or maybe multicellular. What is the meaning of multicellular? Numerous cells in the body are called multicellular. Numerous cells, like a chain of cell. In the textbook there is a diagram of cyanobacteria. Chain of cell, one cell, chain of cell like that. See, chain of cell like that. A chain of cell. And this chain of cell is called as filament. Chain of cell is called filament. Chain of cell, like a chain of a bead, that's called as filament. Chain of cell, filament. And covered by a covering, mucilage, a gum-like covering. See, this is covered by a gum-like covering. This gum-like covering is called mucilage. You see the diagram in the textbook. Mucilage, a gum-like. We are touching the alga. It is slimy in appearance, gum-like in appearance. That is due to a covering of mucilaginous covering, gum-like covering, to keep the cell always moist. You know that algae are living in water. When they are touching, it is slippery in appearance, slimy in appearance, gum-like in appearance. Because of that covering called mucilage, so that the alga, the filament, which is called filament, chain of cell is called filament. You refer the textbook, there is a diagram. In that diagram you can see very clearly, this is covered by gum-like covering. So, maybe unicellular or multicellular. Multicellular is called chain of cell called the filament. This is called a filament. Covered by a gum-like covering or mucilage. Maybe unicellular or multicellular. And they are usually blue-green in color. The color is blue-green. The color is blue-green in color. Why they are blue-green in color? They contain a pigment called chlorophyll. Remember the pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. Green color to the plants is by chlorophyll. This alga, this cyanobacteria contain blue-green pigment chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Because of that, the alga is blue-green in color. They contain chlorophyll. So what is the importance of that? They can produce food material by photosynthesis. See, because of the pigment, because of the blue-green color, they contain chlorophyll and prepare food by the process of photosynthesis. You know the photosynthesis is a process by which plant prepare food material. That process is called as photosynthesis. So plants prepare food by this. Similar to plants, cyanobacteria are the first photosynthetic organisms. You remember that plants are not the first photosynthetic organisms. Before plants originated very later only. So before plants, cyanobacteria originated. Cyanobacteria are the first photosynthetic organisms of the world. What is the meaning of first photosynthetic organism? Photosynthesis started by cyanobacteria, not by plants. Before plants, crores of years ago, cyanobacteria are the first photosynthetic organism. They contain chlorophyll. They are green in color. They began to produce oxygen by photosynthesis. See, they began to produce oxygen by photosynthesis. You remember that photosynthesis, oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis. So that cyanobacteria began to produce oxygen by photosynthesis. That is the importance of that. So what happens? They began to produce oxygen. So what happened? Atmosphere contains hydrogen. Atmosphere contains hydrogen. This oxygen, hydrogen combine together to form water. It began to produce oxygen. So began to produce water. So what happens when the Archean what is formed? The temperature of the earth was being reduced and reduced. First of all, when the archaebacteria lived, the temperature of earth was about 100 degrees Celsius. When this cyanobacteria originated, the temperature has been reduced and reduced because it began to produce oxygen. So cyanobacteria are the important organisms that began to produce oxygen. That started photosynthesis. They began to produce oxygen. So that the oxygen combined with hydrogen to form water. So the temperature of the earth was being reduced and reduced and reduced. New type of organism began to originate. So the cyanobacteria are very important in the nature because they started photosynthesis and they began to produce oxygen by which the temperature of the earth has been reduced. So importance of that, they are the photosynthetic organisms. Then another importance is that this cyanobacteria like nostoc, example is nostoc, N-O-S-T-O-C. In the text there is a diagram of this nostoc bacteria, cyanobacteria that contain a special cell. This special cell is called heterocyst. The cyanobacteria contain special cell called heterocyst. And this heterocyst, you can see the textbook, this heterocyst, they help in the nitrogen fixation. See, this help in nitrogen fixation. What is nitrogen fixation? Very important one. This cyanobacteria can absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and they can convert nitrogen into ammonia. The process of converting nitrogen into ammonia is called nitrogen fixation. See? The process of, we can discuss later on, the process of conversion of absorbing nitrogen, converting it into ammonia, that process is called nitrogen fixation. Cyanobacteria can produce ammonia by nitrogen fixation by the help of heterocyst cell. This heterocyst is helping in nitrogen fixation. Heterocyst is helping in nitrogen fixation. So this heterocyst is very important because it helps in the nitrogen fixation. It helps to produce ammonia. What is the importance of that? When the ammonia is formed in the soil, the nitrogen content of the soil increases. Soil becomes highly nutritious. See, we are adding ammonia when we are doing agriculture to plants. Plants require ammonia. For what? Production of amino acid and protein. You heard about that amino acid. Amino acid require ammonia. So when we are cultivating the plants, we are adding ammonia, ammonium sulfate like that. But cyanobacteria are very important in agriculture because they can absorb about nitrogen and produce ammonia, which will increase the fertility of the soil. Ammonia content of the soil, important for agriculture. So cyanobacteria are agriculturally important because they can produce ammonia by the process of nitrogen fixation. By the heterocyst. So one more question. Name the cell fixing nitrogen, helping for nitrogen fixation. The name of the cell is heterocyst. Third importance is that cyanobacteria like spirulina. There is a typical example called spirulina. Another cyanobacteria. It contains large amount of protein. The cyanobacteria like spirulina contain large amount of protein. So they are made into capsules. See, they are made into capsules for medicine and they are eaten by space travelers. When we are traveling in space, they are using that. Space travelers. We are moving the space. We cannot take the food material to space for 6 months or like that. So when we are traveling in the space for experimental purpose, we are taking capsules for eating purpose. So that is very easy. And the capsules contain large amount of protein that is made by spirulina is a cyanobacteria which contain large amount of protein. They are made into capsules and eaten by space travelers who are traveling in the space. So cyanobacteria are very important. So remember, examples are there. Cyanobacteria, the very important organism. Example is given. One is spirulina. Second one is nostoc. Then important is that oscillatoria, and that's for practicals. Oscillatoria, nostoc, spirulina. So all you have to remember the example. And this is nostoc, which contains heterocyst. So oscillatoria is an example. The name itself, oscillatoria, moving like oscillatoria. Nostoc, spirulina contains protein. Nostoc contains heterocyst. These are all example. Anabina, another example is anabina, that is used as a nitrogen azola, that is a biofertilizer. Examples are there. Please refer the textbook. Okay. So, what is a question carrying 2 marks? What is the importance of cyanobacteria? First of all, blue-green alga cyanobacteria. What is the importance? First importance is that they began to produce oxygen by photosynthesis because they contain chlorophyll. Second importance is that they can prepare ammonia by nitrogen fixation. Third importance, they contain protein. They are used as capsules and used by space travelers. So second group is our cyanobacteria. Discuss the question is that question carrying 2 marks. Very very important. Discuss the importance of cyanobacteria. So cyanobacteria are environmentally important. They began to produce oxygen. Agriculturally important, they began to produce ammonia. In the field of health, they are important. Now the doctors are prescribing capsules contain spirulina, contain protein. So as far as health is considered, cyanobacteria important. Agriculture is considered important. Then environmentally produce oxygen. So there are 3 importance related to cyanobacteria. Listen the class very carefully, and the third group is remaining called as eubacteria or true bacteria, that we can discuss in the next class. True bacteria and its classification. So already I will sum up that the kingdom Monera is divided into 3 subdivisions: archaebacteria, cyanobacteria and true bacteria. Archaebacteria divided into methanogen, halophile, thermoacidophile. Cyanobacteria, importance of cyanobacteria, and we can one group is remaining that is called as true bacteria or eubacteria, that we can discuss in the next class. You write the note very carefully by looking the note and textbook. Don't create any mistake. So if you possible, you write the teaching notes also on the left side of the page. every page you have to write the teaching note if possible, or you can copy them from the WhatsApp notebook as you like. Anyhow, listen very carefully because this is the basic of the class for you. I think you can understand my English, simplest English I am using. So watch the video once or twice, complete the notes and study on the same day itself. Then we can continue in the next class.